See these eyebrows? Oh, they're gorgeous, eh? And they're all natural. Anyway, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, whatever time it is for you right now. Just know that you are locked in on To The Point with the King. You guys know what to do. Find us Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Thanks, Arturus. And YouTube, which is hopefully you're watching us. Thanks for the spike in subs when you guys are watching the live streams during the game. We much appreciate that. We also very much appreciate you sending your love and your hate to some of our fantastic guests that come on the show. This one's up for you guys. We have nobody else but the benevolent, brilliant basketball mind beyond the locker room. I just call him B to keep it short. How you doing today, my brother?
I am good, man. Yes, I heard. I've kept things real busy. I heard on your side of things.
Yeah. So let's get into this because I know you're pressed for time, and we don't want to keep you here. And you are giving your time to the great people out there that watch, and benevolent, right? That's why I say that. So, okay. So I alluded to the perfect eyebrows. Apparently the mill has been churning. I don't know. I invested into Pennsylvania, into an Amish place to churn out some good butter. But apparently the NBA has been churning out some crazy rumors. And the one that concerns us and affects us is the possibility of Anthony Davis, AD, possibly getting traded to the Toronto Raptors. I want to know your overall thoughts about that, B.
Yeah. Well, first thing, full disclosure, the teams that we're discussing here, I am fans of. Obviously, the Raptors. Grew up as a Mavericks and a Pistons fan prior to, that shows you how old I am. These grades actually show it in this case, before we had a team in this market. So some of us, like you and I, we had some roots before we had NBA roots before we had this team. So those teams are all in the mix. So I'm going to say that with this in mind when I give my breakdown. So the rumor is that Anthony Davis, it might be on the block. I am saying that might, very speculatively. I doubt that so much, but fair enough.
Thank you.
Anthony Davis on the block, and supposedly, the Raptors are in the mix amongst two other teams. It seems like are the front runners, the Pistons.
Detroit, Miami. Wow. Detroit, Miami, and Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Okay, I heard Atlanta as well, too. Okay, fair enough. And if they're in the mix as well, too, Milwaukee's interesting. Actually, I'm surprised, but okay, fair enough. Miami's always in every big name free agency, so that's not surprising. They find a way to get themselves in there anyhow. But let's stick with the Raptors for a second. I guess, would this be a good idea? No, this would not be a good idea. And this speaks to a lot of, this speaks to something that's what do you want to call it? Ailment in this case here, a sickness amongst the Raptor fan base, where they've been trained for like almost about 6-7 years now to shortcut the process.
Spoiled.
As if they think superstars fall on trees for us because it happened one time. And it's like, this is not how you build a team, folks. It's not how you build a franchise or a program. I hate to tell you, that is a one and done, one of a lifetime scenario in almost any sport. That's not something that happens. Pick the sport: croquet, football, basketball, soccer. It doesn't happen like that, guys. And somehow in this fan base, all of a sudden they think like, yeah, just like that. Because even when it does happen and a major star goes on their team, it usually doesn't end up pretty well. It usually doesn't. Right. It usually doesn't. Like even Anthony Davis, when he got traded, it took about 2 years before they won the chip. Yeah, like it takes a while. You got to build around it. So it's not like, ooh, boom, it drops in that year. It just happens. The only sport where it comes close to mind where you can get away with that is baseball.
Baseball, yes. Thank you.
Right, it's the only sport where you can just get yourself like an ace reliever and you're off to the races, or like some big hitter and you're off to the races. Every other sport, maybe you drop a guy in hockey, in this case, all of a sudden some big trade. That don't mean they're winning squad. They win squad. Exactly. A goalkeeper could come and take you out before you know it, and you're out 4-0 because he's hot, the goalkeeper. Same thing with basketball. Same thing with football. It doesn't work that way, guys. And I think Raptor fans have gotten so spoiled and so myopic on their thinking that's the way it works. It doesn't work that way, man. So, and now taking it from a Maverick standpoint, let me just give the Dallas perspective.
Okay. This I'm curious about.
Yeah, all the teams you mentioned, with the exception, I assume Milwaukee will have to be a straight up star for star. So that must be the only rationale for Milwaukee, which makes sense. Put it this way. I don't want, with all due respect to lovely Raptors, I don't want that platter. Sorry, I don't. It's the weakest platter of all the teams we mentioned.
Oh, I'm going to get into that.
The Raptors platter compared to the Pistons platter, the Hawks platter, the Milwaukee platter, even the Miami platter. I'll take any of those platters over what Toronto's offering. I'm sorry, there's just not enough. There's just not enough in this case here for Anthony Davis if I'm a Mavericks fan. And I am. And I'm like, no thank you.
And what do you think about the Mavericks side of this?
I think the Mavericks right now, the reason why I said speculative right now, because I don't know how many your fan base watches the Western Conference too much, but right now
they do.
The Mavericks are in the play-in as we speak. Now, I've talked to some other folks in this case here. I told them it'll be by Christmas. Heck, they got that done within the week after I said so. So they're already in the play-in. So if I'm looking from their standpoint, it's like, okay, I'm in the play-in. Anthony Davis is getting healthier and better. We are now getting and gelling together. Klay Thompson seems to be coming out of his deep freeze, which is good to know. God bless Megan, but maybe they can't have her watch the games from home. I don't know.
Oh, did you hear the latest rumor? She cheated on him. They're done. Oh. I saw that today. Anyway,
that might be good for everybody in this case here, but I digress. That might be good for all parties involved. However, when it's all said and done, this team's starting to come together, and Kyrie's on the way, which is like in January. So I'm sitting there going like, what? I'm beating Denver. I'm beating the same Miami we're talking about. I'm beating top teams. So I'm sitting there going like, why am I looking to trade Anthony Davis again? Tell me why. Because I don't know. Like, what? That don't make any sense. I'm the one team that matches up better when healthy against OKC than every other team in the Western Conference.
Dallas, Denver.
Right. I think we match up better than Denver. Because the thing with Denver's problem is that they got one man, but he ain't Superman. And we saw in the playoffs last year. They're just going to wear him down.
He ain't Superman, he's a Joker. Okay, I like that point.
You like that, right? For all you DC fans. When it's all said, as I wear the Black Panther t-shirt. When it's all said, look, exactly what God does. When it's all said and done, it's like you look at it and you're sitting there thinking to yourself, like, okay, why would I move off of the strength which no other team in the Western Conference has as good as me? And so I'm sitting there going, I have like 3 7-footers. What am I doing here, folks? And PJ Washington 6'10". I go, huh? With OKC, which is like still considered to be their weakness. So I'm like sitting there going, no, I see no reason to move. And definitely not Toronto. Toronto has one player I might have some interest in. One, maybe two. But
please don't tell me Scottie.
No, I have no interest in Scottie Barnes.
Okay.
Why won't Scottie Barnes?
If you were,
I got a guy in 2 years going to be better.
If you were to replace Nico, who would you? Okay, here's where I go. Here's where I'm going to go on.
I'm glad you mentioned that name. Because all these folks are talking about how all this heat for Nico. Oh, they want to burn down the stadium. They got the pitchforks out and stuff like that. Here's the irony now. The team's now winning now. Ain't no one mentioned whose team it is. Whose team is it, King? Whose team is it now? Who made that team that we're looking at right now?
Nico.
Oh, really? You don't
I know, right?
It's
shocker.
Right. It's shocker. It's Nico's
team.
God. They make no choice. Right. So all of a sudden now these people now come to Jesus moment. Everyone got their prayer books down. It's like, oh, this team is so good now. It's like blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, dude, it's the same team they said before.
It's going to be Sunday when you guys see this. Go to church.
Exactly. And I'll tell you this in this case here. Going back to your Scottie point, no disrespect to Scottie. I got a guy.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that part.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. May I go off?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. AD coming to Toronto. I'm going to say it like this. Fuck no. Okay? It does not make any sense. This does not compute. Okay. AD has kind of fallen off since the Lakers, right? Kind of. We could agree with that. His numbers have come down, right? Stats don't lie. But AD is also like Sean Glass, right? Where he's going to get hurt and he's going to miss a few games, which happens to every player in the NBA, right? No questions asked. Fight me on that one. Somebody come here and punch me in the face, right? But um, with what the Raptors currently have and how they are progressing through the season, 905, 12-0, okay? You know, the bench doing good, right? Some injuries, right, which has cost them a couple losses, right? 70% with RJ, 30 yeah, 70% win with RJ, 30. But the thing is, here's my thing. If AD were to come, okay, AD is going to fill that hole of a big. You do want a big, and I do respect him as a big, right? To take care of down low, which is clearly the Raptors' downfall. Okay, but at the same time, when you look at the current Raptors roster, now this is what I'm going to throw to you, Beyond, okay, is if the Toronto Raptors were to get AD, who do you think they should give up?
Well, there's some limitations, right? Because
it's not Scottie. Don't say Scottie.
Well, it's got to be matching with the contracts, right? So this is where things get dicey, right? So the easiest version is the Scottie trade, but it makes no sense for Dallas's perspective.
And it makes no sense from Toronto's perspective.
It could make more sense for Toronto's perspective, actually.
Well, if they're going to go for the future, you'd want to keep the Scottie.
Like in some ways, it balances the team a little bit more in some ways. It could make more sense for Toronto's standpoint, for a roster standpoint. But for the Dallas standpoint, it makes no sense because we just drafted a guy. In this case, I think in 2 years will be better than Scottie, if not a year from now. So why am I going to trade for Scottie Barnes? the franchise is right here, my friend. The franchise right here. I salute the flag. The franchise. So like, I'm not doing that to go and find any way to reduce his ability to grow into the player he's going to be. On the Toronto side of things, here's the part. Now, the thing you didn't mention, because I know he's not your favorite player in the world, but the fact is, this is the thing people don't talk about when it comes to leadership. Mr. Davis, in this case here, injury prone all the time, in this case in New Orleans.
He has won a championship. I'll give him that.
Time in Dallas. Hold on, injury prone all the time in Dallas. You know the time we actually played fairly consistently? In Los Angeles. You know, you can say what you want to say about him. Wherever the case may be, LeBron James seems to get the best out of guys that be a tad bit flaky. Flakies. There's another guy that's right now injured, plays for Dallas right now that, you know, his best years played with him too. Ask Kevin Durant how that worked out for him. So wherever you want to say about the King, he's figured out how to get through the guys that everyone's to be scratching their heads with the caramel secret. What the hell's going on with this dude? So what I'm trying to say to you, if you think you get AD, you're going to get the AD's going to be ready to roll and play 65, 70 games in Toronto, in a place he probably doesn't really want to be in the first place, I wish you luck, folks. I got some swampland to sell you. I wish you some luck. Good luck to you on that, folks.
Snake oil's good. Wow. You just, okay. Oh, shit, Beyond. Okay, there's a couple of people that jump on the live stream that would definitely agree with you about LeBron, right? Like, and they want to come on the show, so I'm going to bring you on the show when they want to come on because I have other people that want to go against LeBron. So we can all discuss it.
Not about, okay, it's not about going against
but what I'm saying is, like, what players other than Scottie, if you wanted to get AD to Toronto, like, would you have to give up a Sandro? Would you have to give up a Yak? Would you have to give up a Mobo, a Grady? Like,
let's get serious here. Okay, so you would have to get, because he makes like $54 million.
Too much. Clutch Sports. Yeah,
right. Well, no, not Clutch Sports. Good businessman in this case here. Good on him. I get wrong. So
you know I'm going to shit on that.
Yeah, exactly. Good on him, man. You like seeing young brothers getting paid. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, I got no problem. Making money.
When it's all said and done, AD's a top 75 player in the game, they said in this case here. I would say he would be there too, probably, perhaps, in top 100 of all time, if you want to argue. Yeah, he would be. But the point is, when he comes here, you got to give up something, which means the contracts have to work. So if it's not Scottie, what's the next biggest contract you're looking at? So it's got to be some combination of RJ quickly, Pirtle, RJ. Some 2/3 of those guys. Pick whichever two you want. And it will have to be two that work with Dallas, because quite honestly, the Mavericks fan, I want no part of Pirtle. Sorry, I'm not paying backup centers in this case $25 million. I got no interest in that. You could keep them. You could keep them. Okay? I got centers right now coming out my bench are better than Pirtle right now, and they don't even start. So why the hell do I want Pirtle? What do you mean? Lively and Gafford are better centers than Pirtle.
I wanted you to say it.
Yeah, well, I mean, at least about 30 centers in the league are better than Pirtle at this point right now. Some of them come off the bench for teams. So, like, why would I want Pirtle? And then so now I look at it, it's like, okay, we can use some punch on offense on the wing. Cool, in the backcourt. All right. The only player of interest, funny enough, the same player no one wants in this franchise, this fandom, is RJ. It's amazing how everyone loves RJ now. But RJ is the only player in this case that would make some sense to Dallas because they could use some offensive punch from the backcourt. The only do it makes some sense. But to get RJ in this case here, I gotta take a lot of bad medicine in this case, and a lot of garbage back that I don't have any interest in taking back because I gotta get the money to work. He makes $54 million. AD. Barrett makes about what 20-something million.
23.
That's 23. That's about $30 million a gap. I gotta find something else to fill that up. So that means I gotta take a lot of garbage back, which means I gotta take either Pirtle or Quickly to make that money work, or I gotta take about. Heck, even the guys in the rookie contracts won't do, because even Grady will give me some interest, but Grady's like that's like chump change. So I still need one of those two dudes to come there. I have no interest in Quickly. I got better guards who can run the offense better than Quickly and cheaper. I got Nembhard and Williams. Why do I want Quickly? he can run an offense in this case for a YMCA. You think I want him to do that for my team in Dallas? Hell no. I got no interest.
Ladies and gentlemen, a PSA. This is where Beyond has his time, and he will go off.
I'm just saying, man.
Please go on. Please go on.
We pay this man $30-some-odd million in this case, and he can't run an offense up to a day like today. All right? So I want to get to the Raptors. I'll get to them in a second. But to your point, it doesn't work. The money is difficult to put together, and the resources, the roster coming back, it forces Dallas to eat contracts they don't want to eat. Right, and that's the thing. And so it's like, so there's a lot of reasons why I'm like, nah, I'm paying Clay X amount of money so far. Fair enough, he's coming to the end. I just re-signed Kyrie for a whole boatload of 50-some-odd million, or 40 million. Boom. I got a couple other guys coming like PJ Washington. I think I just re-signed, or I have to sign him. So it's like Gafford saying, yeah, actually, you're right. Washington signing. I got Gafford coming up. I was like, no, I don't want that. I don't want that. So there's a lot of reasons why, from a personal standpoint, AD's persona, to the money standpoint, to the roster standpoint, where it just doesn't work in this case on a few different levels.
So are we both in agreement? Fuck that on AD coming to the Raptors.
You said it more colorfully than me, but yes.
That wasn't colorful. I don't know. But, yeah, but no. In all honesty, screw it. It doesn't make sense. And when I looked at the other teams, you got the other teams that are in the running for it, like with Detroit. Like, are you gonna get rid of that big man? That Cade Cunningham, he's having a good season. Are you gonna get rid of Bam if you're in Miami? Sorry, I was thinking of some Mayo. But you're gonna get rid of Bam for AD, especially with how much that contract entails onto your budget if you want to build a team to get further. Like, look at what Detroit's got. You think they really want to spend that extra when they're top of the Eastern Conference? Look at where Miami's at.
Let me give you the Detroit angle in this case here, where it could work. Okay, now
I just don't say 8 Mile.
No, I don't like it for Detroit only for one reason and one reason only. I think what we're seeing with Dorn right now is like he's becoming an all-star level player. So if AD's in there, even though AD plays more in the perimeter,
put money on that.
Right. I don't think you want to have anything that messes up. And Detroit does need an extra big, but I don't think Detroit needs to go all the way to get Anthony Davis for that. Right? Like, in other words, the guy would be more likely for them in this case here would be Gafford. Right? Like, that's the guy who was like, okay, can we get Gafford to help us? You don't need to go all the way to Anthony Davis for that. And the second reason why is, for a deal to your point, it wouldn't be Cade. The central piece for that would be Ivy. Right? Yeah. Ivy would be the central piece for making 20-some-odd million. He would be the guy you would have as a centerpiece.
Yeah, but you don't want to give him up.
I don't mind giving him up in the right deal, but I don't know if it's necessary to give him up to get someone like Gafford or a backup big. Obviously not.
Yeah.
But like to your point, I would like to see Ivy and Cunningham be able to play together and see what it looks like. It's like it's like revolving doors. Every time one comes back in, the other one leaves. I would like to see what it looks like for once, what it looks like together. Because they have proven separately they can hold the fort down. So we'll see.
Okay, I have one question for you regarding the Raptors.
Mm.
Okay, we've already said fuck that to AD. Now, but we also both understand that the Raptors are lacking down low. They need a big. There's no questions asked. That's the sky is blue and the sun rises in the east. Okay, and sets in the west. Right? No questions asked. I'm throwing this one out at you. We didn't talk about this behind the scenes, but I'm going to throw this one out at you. What do you think about for the Raptors to address that? Sabonis or Giddey?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah, I threw that one right at you. Ladies and gentlemen, look at the hamster, turn on the wheel. Brain right now. He's thinking.
That's not what I'm thinking about. I'm just more laughing because you could have had this question and it could be 2024, it could be 2023, it could be 2022, it could be
2022 is when they were targeting Sabonis.
Right. It's like just asking about center. Like this is the nonsense in this case. Why I came on here last time and I caught a lot of hell from some of your folks here watching that I said Masai might not be long for this job. This is the reasons why. Because I don't know how you build a team and you have no damn centers besides a broke back center in this case here. I'm sorry.
What, Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal? Broke back center?
His back is literally broken. Like it's literally broken. Like the dude's out there hobbling around. He was barely decent when it was healthy. Like it was
you gotta make a meme for that one. All right, you gotta make a meme for that one. Broke back center.
It wasn't even healthy at the time. Like he didn't look great when it was healthy. So now you're telling me he's 30 years old and you're paying him like $25 million when no one wants him in this case here, and now you're looking for we need a center. No kidding, Sherlock. You know, and then what we do, we double down on this regime by giving the job to fail upwards, Bobby Webster. Have at it, Bobby, because you were doing that for the last 4 years in this case to get a center, right?
Okay,
that's like the arsonist burning down the house and then coming back as the fire chief and saying, "I'll come and save you."
and like that meme with the guy the other day who saved his kids and then saved his pork ribs. But yeah, we got a couple minutes, so
yeah,
but, I want to let you have the floor. So we have like 5 minutes, so I'm just gonna say thank you guys for watching. It's been a pleasure to have Beyond here. You guys go check out his YouTube channel. We'll leave it in the description for you, right? This guy knows what he's talking about, whether you agree or disagree or agree to disagree, whatever you think, right? I'm glad you guys are here. I'm here for the live streams. You know, like we'll talk about Raptors games. Leave up the comments. You know, let us know what you guys think. Beyond, is there one last thing you would like to say to the people out there, especially some of you guys that watch here and shit on him and get mad at him? But is there anything you would like to say to anybody out there?
All right. So here's what I'll say. First thing, to answer your question directly.
Make it quick. You might get cut off.
Yeah. I don't want to trade for any of those dudes. Period. Okay, you should have picked one in the draft pick. You had an opportunity to draft pick. You pick a 6'2" guard from Florida. I'll leave it there from there. As far as about I guess last words. Look, man, folks, you don't like to love what I have to say. You don't have to like what you say, but you better respect what I gotta say, because when it comes back to biting, and you know what? Don't say I didn't warn you. All right. So what I'm saying in this case here, I'm a Raptors fan, but I'm a realist. I don't come with pom-poms over here on my man's show here. I just come here and tell you what I see. All right? So it's not I come out here with great joy to say these things. So when it comes to Raptors, I said in a pod a few weeks ago when they had the 9-game winning streak, I said, listen, folks, this is like Charlie Brown the football. Be very wary of what we're seeing here. And ain't no one wanted to hear it at the time. And then lo and behold, now everyone now burning down the house. You know, at the time they're having ticker tape parades, in this case, King, on University Avenue already. I said, look, man, there's some flaws in this team, systemic issues. You mentioned one of them there. Front court.
Chill the fuck out.
Right. I said another one in this case here, lack of defense. I don't know about you. You watch hoop for years. I watch hoop for years. Can you remember a starting five in this case where you have 4 below average defender and 1 above average defender and think you're going to be a top 10 defense? I would like to know how that math works. Exactly. Right? Point guard play, I've discussed it already. He out here trying to use Shed as a band-aid to try to save the day. That's not enough, folks. All right, that ain't gonna cut it. But hey, they paid the man $32 million. That's good luck with that. And my last point, which I said in this case here, when it comes to actually Darko, look, Darko trying to save his job. All right, so Darko gonna go with the vets as long as he can. So Sandro and all these guys gonna get a lot of time. You all wanted this. You wanted Sandro. You wanted BI. When you make the deal with the devil, and you want those vets in here, be aware on the back end there is gonna be a payment to be had. And the payments being had is CMB getting 5 minutes in this case in DMPs. Grady don't know what the hell he's doing anymore because he's not getting consistent minutes. Jacoby Walter wondering what the hell's going on because now those are your 3 last first round draft picks, folks.
Mobile.
And this, 2 of the lottery picks. And you sat here now, and this is what you say because you're going for it. Because we're going for it. Wide open East, huh? And at the time I told folks, respect some of these Eastern Conference teams because Raptor fans have a dirty little habit not respecting the opposition. So respect these teams. Oh, Boston's going to be nothing for us to worry about. Oh, this, that, so on. So Boston's a former championship team that still has all NBA level talent playing for them, all defensive level talent playing for them. Be wary. 6 man of the year talent playing for them. Be wary. Now Jaylen Brown's having arguably the best year of his career. Arguably this Jaylen Brown year is probably better than any Tatum career possibly in his entire career. And I'm sitting there watching now as they just blew past Toronto now in the standings. As we speak today, Toronto is now sixth. And I said at the time, by the time we turn to the clock to the next week, Toronto will be in the play-in section. All right? So give it by tomorrow at the same time, they'll probably be in the play-in. And folks out here just like lose their mind when I say so. It's like, no, folks, because you have systemic issues. I'm hoping in this case here, people expect Bobby to save the day. I don't think it's going to happen. I wish him luck. But based on his track record, I don't see it.
Dion, thank you for coming on. Thank you for letting it out, man. I'm glad I can be a platform. And to the point, we could be a platform for you. Yo, you got to come back for the LeBron debate again, because that's an endless debate. I know where you go. We both agree to disagree, right?
Hey,
but
all I'm talking is leadership, man, and that's all I'm saying right now. Certain guys
anybody that's watching this show right now, I consider you To The Point family. So on behalf of my man, Beyond the Locker Room, make sure you guys go check them out. We're going to leave the links in there for you, right? And To The Point, you guys know what I got to say. Do I really have to sign it out? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, and peace.